A poor man had 12 children and had to work day and night just to give them bread. Now when the 13th came into the world, he did not know what to do. So he ran out onto the main highway, intending to ask the first one he met to be the child's godfather. The first person he met was the good Lord God, who knew very well what was weighing on the man's heart. And the Lord said to him,
"Poor man, I am sorry for you. I will hold your child at the baptismal font. I will care of him and fill his days with happiness."
The man said, "Who are you?"
"I am the good Lord."
"Then I don't want you as a godfather," said the man. "You give to the rich and let the poor starve." The man spoke thus because he did not know how wisely God portioned out wealth and poverty. So he turned away from the Lord and went on. Then the devil came up to him and said, "What are you looking for? If you take me as child sponsor, I will give him gold heaped high and wide and all the joys of this world." The man asked, "And who are you?" "I'm the devil." "Then I don't want you as a godfather," said the man. "You trick men and you lead them astray." So the man went on, and soon bone-thin Death strode up to him and said, "Choose me as a godfather." The man asked, "Who are you?" "I am Death, who makes all men equal." The man said, "You're the right one. You take the rich and the poor without distinction. You will be the godfather." Death answered, "I will make your child rich and famous. Whoever has me as a friend shall lack for nothing." Death appeared just as he had promised, and stood there as a proper godfather. When the boy had grown up, his godfather walked in one day and said to come along with him. Death led him out into the woods and showed him an herb and said, "Now you are going to get your christening present. I am making you a famous doctor. When you are called to a patient, I will always appear to you. If I stand next to the sick person's head, you may speak boldly that you will make him healthy again. Give him some of this herb and he will recover. But if you see me standing by the sick person's feet, then he is mine. You must say that nothing can be done, that no doctor in the world can save him. But beware of using the herb against my will, or it will turn out badly for you." It was not long before the young man was the most famous doctor in the whole world. "He needs only look at a sick person," everyone said, "and then he knows how things stand, whether the patient will get well or whether he must die." People came from far and wide to bring their sick and gave him so much gold that he quickly became rich. Now it soon happened that the king grew ill, and the doctor was summoned to say whether a recovery was possible. But when he came to the bed, Death was standing at the sick man's feet, and now no herb grown could save him. "If I cheat Death this one time," thought the doctor, "he will be angry. But since I am his godson, he will turn a blind eye, so I will risk it." He took up the sick man and turned him around so his head was now where Death stood. Then they gave the king some of the herb. The king recovered and grew healthy again. But Death then came to the doctor with a dark and angry face and threatened him with his finger. "You have hoodwinked me this time," he said, "and I will forgive you once, because you're my godson. But if you try such a thing again, it will be your neck, and I will take you away with me." Not long after, the king's daughter fell into a serious illness. She was his only child, and he wept day and night until his eyes went blind. He let it be known whoever saved her from death would become her husband and inherit the crown. When the doctor came to the sick girl's bed, he saw Death standing at her feet. He should have remembered his godfather's warning, but the princess's great beauty and the happy prospect of becoming her husband so infatuated him that he flung all caution to the wind. He didn't notice that Death stared at him angrily, or that he raised his hand or shook his bony fist. The doctor picked up the sick girl and turned her around to place her head where her feet had been. He gave her the herb, and right away her cheeks grew rosy, and she stirred again with life. When Death saw that he had been cheated out of his property a second time, he strode with long steps up to the doctor and said, "It is all over for you now. It is your turn." Death seized him so firmly with ice-cold hands that the doctor could not resist. He led him to an underground cavern. There, the doctor saw thousands and thousands of candles burning in endless rows. Some were tall, others medium-sized, others quite small. Every moment, some went out, and others lit up, so that tiny flames seemed to jump to and fro in perpetual motion. "Look," said Death. "These are the lights of mankind. The tall ones belong to children, the middle ones to married people in the prime of life, and the short ones to the very old. But sometimes even children and young people have only a short candle." "Show me my life," said the doctor, assuming it would be very tall. Death pointed to a small stub that seemed about to flicker. "Oh, dear Godfather!" cried the terrified doctor. "Light a new candle for me. If you love me, do it so that I may enjoy my life, become king, and marry the beautiful princess." "That I cannot do," Death replied. "One candle must first go out before another one is lighted." "Then put my old one on top of a new candle. That will keep burning when the old one goes out," begged the doctor. Death acted as though he were going to grant the wish, and picked up a tall new candle. But, because he wanted revenge, he deliberately fumbled in placing the new candle, and the stub toppled over and went out. The doctor immediately dropped to the ground and fell into the hands of Death.